Hello everyone, this is Gorax, and today I'm going to show you how I helped one of my viewers to go from where he was stuck in Fayander, which is stage 224, up to 300 clear. It took me 5-10 minutes to set up his team, and I cleared the stages on auto challenge easily, utilizing all my experience, knowledge about the placement of the heroes and what our enemies can do. If you're looking for the lower stages, I will have them recorded eventually, as I left this account for that purpose. So I will try and do the most free-to-play friendly journey from 184 forwards. It's gonna take me a couple hours, so don't expect it soon, as I'm focused on Continental Challenge right now. If you are struggling, reach out to me and I will help you. But let's have a look what I've done on that account. So as I said, the account started at stage 224. I realized I should record it at stage 269. But this is the stage that I cleared. I believe that was the stage with the crises and stuff. I noticed that this team melts it. And as you can see, I'm not using Ascetius. I'm not using Ascetius in the burn team because it's not necessary. And if you pulled for burn, you will have Durham and you will have crisis. This account obviously have stacked inspirations and uses Ripekas because this is a veteran account. So Ripekas inspiration 4 is achievable by those who played in the veteran servers. Now, Inspiration 5, Thorin, while it's good to have all the inspirations, it's not necessary because it's all about the strategy. Look what's happening in the screen. We have Ripekas as a front tank, Thorin just behind him, so Ripekas gets all the stats from Thorin, and all enemies stuck in one place. This allows our Carve and Durham to burst them down. We have Philosia for extra support through shields, but Alpha-Nerzi works well as well. Might mean that the enemies spread a little bit, but it's okay. And that's the main strategy. You burn enemies. Look at that. They all group together, allowing us to utilize our AoE damage, and Durham is way stronger than Ascetius in Season 2. So you should utilize him. Look how fast we melt them. And the equipment on this account was not even good. The player was missing a lot of attack percentage, defense percentage, crucial sets. But I made it work because it's not hard to build a team if you have experience. There will be few fights where I had to adjust things, but for the most, I'll walk you through the equipment I used. I think I remember, if I remember correctly, I recorded the equipment at the end in the camp because obviously I was busy rushing through, so the player doesn't lose too much time out of his account. So Ripekas will use the stun set, Holy Hunter, and Hourglass. The reason for Hourglass is we want to cast his ultimate as quick, as often as possible. This helps us mitigate their enemy's ultimate. Just look at that. We just removed the ultimate bar. We also apply buff prohibition, attack penalty, and lots of other different debuffs. Thorin will use Ancestral Protection set with Gatekeeper stuff. We want haste on him as well. We want to cast his ultimate as soon as, so enemy assassins do not burst down our damage dealers. When we go invisible, they have to rush to Ripekas. So once again, they shift focus to a tank, group all nicely together, and we kill them. There will be few encounters like Percunto and Ascetius that can really burst us down. So it's either our burst against their burst, and reducing their ultimate does help a lot. Just look at this. I'm so close to dying here. I believe I might fail at this stage, but I don't remember exactly. But look at how close it is, right? And Philosia is here, as I said, to apply shields, help with control immunity as well. Now, if you don't have Philosia, you can use Alpha-Nerzi, you can use Euron. Both of them work. As long as you have some control immunity, you will have easier time passing through that, because any control means we can't cast our ultimates as quick as possible. And once again, Durem and Karf, powerful duo in Season 2. But in Season 1, I cleared the same thing with Rava and Vidmir, so this still works. The same team. Obviously, Rava and Vidmir will do way less damage than broken, busted Durem. But you could see that in this case, the assassin jumped on the Karf, and Karf survived. When it comes to our damage dealers, the main damage dealer, who is Durem, as you can see, they don't even have the maxed out talents because the Akan is struggling with resources. Durem is with 4 mythic, right? He is the main damage dealer. You should have mythic equipment from Season 1, so it should not be hard to build Durem. Karf is also in stance set, so Ripikas and Karf both have stance set. Felocia uses the elemental damage increase set, so that one that we just got here. So Brotherhood set. This helps us with extra damage, right? So Karf, as you can see, he got targeted by the assassin. He also will, I believe not at the start, but eventually he will wear the Mona Lisa helmet, which prevents death. As you can see, assassins will focus him. So we want him to survive through that. This will trigger the immortality, so we stay longer until Thorin uses his ultimate. And that helps with the survival. Everyone is living long enough to tackle all the enemies, and I believe this is the first time I'll have to adjust my strategy. Most of these teams that you see now will happen on lower levels too, so you will notice what I'm doing here and how I counter those teams. So yeah, my damage dealer has died. I believe this is the Pergu, or whatever his name is, that is doing so much damage to the backline, okay? So he is the target we should destroy. Now also, since all the Frur buffs group together, there is a lot of healing, okay? A lot of healing in a close combat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to counter that. I'm going to spread Ripikas and I'm going to spread Frur buff. I also use food, because don't forget, food helps you here. So you want to build the elemental food for your damage dealers. And as you can see, I spread them out briefly, because Thorin's ultimate will make Felocia invisible, but if you use Euron, it will still work. They will stay there, but they grouped at the right time. We avoid most of the extra healing, and then we group them for the big ultimate. So this is important, the placement and stuff, okay? Keep that in mind. Placement is very important in Fayander. And now we're gonna fight against the boss. So when it comes to fighting against the bosses, you can still use the same team. It's not going to be the fastest, but what you can do, and I didn't do it in here because that was still a low level, instead of having the stance sets on Ripikas and Karf, you can put the supportive sets that will increase the damage of Karf. So you can put on Ripikas emissary set that will help with extra damage when he applies debuffs, and on Karf you can even build him with damage while still applying witches remain, as in this case we don't really need stun. The boss is immune to that, obviously. We just want as much damage as possible to go through this stage, and as you can see I'm doing 100,000 DPS, which is really low for a single target. So if you're doing more, you will easily clear this, but I don't think in Season 2 Ravatrix as hard. Once again, this can be all cleared with Vidmir and Rava as well, utilizing pretty much the same team, obviously replacing Felocia, as Thorin and Ripikas are for free. If you're struggling, once again, reach out to me, we can make something together, and the best way to reach out to me is through Discord, and if you have not joined my Discord yet, please consider doing so. So yeah, 280, one slight change so far, but that's fine. Euron stat, okay, this shouldn't be hard. There's Lothier, so an assassin. Is it Lothier? I think so, yeah. So he will jump to the back, but again, look at that. Thorin's ultimate, invisibility, Lothier runs to Ripikas, and we just melt the enemy team. It's the same strategy up until 300, really. With few exceptions, we'll need to switch things around to survive. There will be what is the maintenance of the Fayander in Season 2. You probably met it on lower levels. I'll show you the highest level of this team, which will be Carve, Durham, and Ascetius in a single team. So the enemy will be using our strategy so they can burst us down before we burst them down. So yeah, a few more minutes on this video. I believe I have a second part as well. As I said, it's still few stages, but this shows you once again how you can easily counter most of the stages, and I want to include all of them in this video for those of you who have these heroes. Okay, if you have these heroes, this will really help you. And this was another annoying stage back in Season 1 because Huldorg's damage here is just so huge, but as you can see, we have so much control over our enemies that they do not cast. They just do not cast. And if you bring AoE damage dealers, that's how you should build them to clear Fayander. So yeah, stage 283 cleared. That was 60 stages on auto challenge, really, with just one stop. So here should be an easy stage. We got Pergu, we got Oster, and etc. So we will melt the front line, as you can see, quite quickly with all the bursts, making sure no one does damage to us, and then just repeat, second ultimate, boom. There we go. Now, obviously, there are improvements in this team if you have them, and I did have them on the account. I just didn't notice that fast. So the Crisis can replace Philosia, and if you have Crisis in your team, then you can use a Puppeteer set, which would mean you have shorter cooldowns and quicker cooldowns as well, so that will improve your team. As I said, I didn't notice that I have, what's his name, Crisis, and this is the stage that many of you will struggle. So we have 3 burn heroes, and we have Garika and Crisis. This is a huge burst team that we need to deal with. So I tried different ways, and I'm going to show you them so you can see how I tackle obstacles as well, okay? It's just all trial and error. So what I've done here is I've tried to place as much damage on Garika to take her down quicker. However, I noticed that while I clear the front line, it's the back line that is killing me. Look at that. Durham is just so OP right now that he is clearing, and then I was stuck here for a while. I thought maybe I can still clear it, but I didn't. So as you can see, I was still trying, I was so close, but failed. So what I've done is I used a different artifact, Titan Rib, to boost the damage of my team, and I moved everyone in one corner. This way, they all grouped, making it easier for my AoE to target Durham, although it didn't work quite as good as I thought, and I still failed. So the idea was there to group everyone in one place so I can reach Durham with my attacks. So that's what basically I needed to do to clear this stage. So while this fight would take ages, and I actually got defeated, that's what really made the difference. Look at this. My damage dealers are on the bottom, far away from Durham's ultimate, so I'm going to clear the front line very quickly if I survive. So Durham's ultimate is down. Now we trigger the focus the Durham, and then we move on to the other team. So that's how I cleared that level. Just gonna rewind here because this is the lower levels that you will struggle at, and the strategy, whatever you use, group 3 of your tankiest heroes on the top, so the AoE of Durham will target them while your damage dealers are in the bottom corner, being rather safe. Nuke the front line as they all will group nicely for your ultimate, your Durham ultimate, and then once they're melted, you move on to the damage dealers. And remember, stand set is crucial. Look at that, 3 of them are stunned, which means they can't really use their skills, which helps us with survivability. Okay, second part of the video, if something works, just keep going until it breaks. And that's what I've done here. So that strategy was really good. And I thought, okay, if I encounter similar comps, I can make it work. And look at that. Now I'm targeting 4 heroes with Durham's ultimate if there's only 2 melee. So this is a really good strategy going forward to group them and utilize Durham's ultimate. or any AoE ultimate that is in the diamond shape, right? So remember, I'm using all these heroes, but all that strategy will be viable with whatever heroes you use. Just obviously your equipment will differ. So here, this is quite annoying, but this level can be quite annoying. But with our AoE, buff prohibition, and everything else, we can just play it on auto. Ideally, you could even bring Vinyara here instead of Velocia. This way you can mitigate someone's ultimate even more than just with Replicas, but still, good damage will help us clear it, as you can see. 100,000 AoE damage, that's not a lot, but it just works because they have the burst, the team has the burst, and it's not even fully optimized team as we're missing the crucial talents, etc. So the next few levels, I believe, will be quite easy. I think I will get stuck once, but let's just go over them so you guys have an idea how to clear these levels, what placement helps, and how the fight looks, and what I've done. So there might be some levels that I'll struggle. I have to run them a few more times because we are at the end, but it's still not really hard if you know how to place your heroes. So if you're looking for this information, remember, reach out to me. So yeah, there we go. There's an easy way. Obviously, I didn't bother with it, but you can switch placement on your damage dealers to avoid Zadok's ultimate, as that is a lot, but we're just gonna burst them down. Easy. Okay, on to the Faye 290. So Premsta, a lot of AoE damage, and this guy in the corner also quite annoying. So the two targets that you need to take down, but if you have what I have, which is remove Replicas, it's going to be easy. And Replicas is really MVP of any Fayander, so if you don't have him, you will need to get him in one way. Most veterans do have him, but you can still have him from Starlight Dice or anything, or Horn as well. Okay, so this is another hard level. So we got 6 enemies and 2 Helicabras. And as you can see, the placement is not ideal because everything splits. Everything splits, and we can't have that. We need to group them together so we can use as much damage as possible. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to move Replicas to the front to ensure everything is nicely and close together. As you can see, I'm thinking of what I should do. This way, Ikes will go closer. So I said, no, we need to keep them all together. So we're going back to our original placement. This will allow us to target the 4 heroes here with the ultimate. And Replicas targets 2 Helicabras as well, slowing them down. As you can see, we're targeting the top 3. Those will die, and then we move on to the bottom 3, splitting the enemy team and just DPSing them down, okay? So you can see how much of a difference a good placement does. Okay, so keep that in mind. The Beyond Freight team here against the Shelter and Farival, I don't think there were any issues with it. It's just, once again, grouping them all together. And as I said, if something works, do not change it until it breaks. And as you can see, I didn't go back to my original, well, to my strategy where I go and group everything in the top and DPS from the bottom. I'm just going with this strategy because it worked previously, and I will change it only if it doesn't work. So that's the easiest way to clear the stages, and I'm still clearing them on auto. And here again, I don't think anyone will have issues with this team. If you build your team properly with enough stun sets, the frontline will fall. Tamar will not do much because you will be stealing her energy, ultimate, and just DPS them down with whatever you have. Crowd control, important in Fayander. It's different than you playing against bosses that can't be controlled. Those enemies can, so make sure you have enough accuracy and you have the good sets. Now we have Nastienka jumping onto Carve, and this is how you counter any assassin. Immortality helmet on your damage dealer that is targeted, and Tauren with invincibility, so she has to jump back on the tank and you kill that. That's the counter to the assassins in Fayander. And there we go. We're moving on to 295. Just 5 stages left. Now, this could be annoying if we didn't have strong AoE. Just look at that. Okay, this is hard level, but our blasts, our burn, and our incineration is just melting the enemy. While they are powerful, strong duo that was really annoying in previous seasons, we just got through them with pure force. We didn't allow them to do much with stun sets, 2 stun sets, and a lot of debuffs through replicas. Okay, they just couldn't do anything, and they didn't survive long enough to cause us a threat. 2 damage dealers is plenty, and you could even use Vinyara there to really help you with with all that. But since the Aken had Velocia, and obviously I don't want to like struggle on someone else's Aken, I just need to make sure that this person clears the stages. This is how you clear the stages, the easiest way. But as I said, if I have time, I will try and make the free-to-play variant of all of that from 180, as I know some people struggle at that lower levels. Sadly, I don't have this at level 180, as that I think is another big issue, but I'll try my best and record that. And obviously, if you want me to help you, I can record that as well on your account. So yeah, remember, there's multiple ways of doing it. So make sure you reach out. So yeah, we're almost at the end. I don't know if there is any more struggles here, because obviously we're gonna burst everything down with burn. Yeah, 297. So 3 more stages, well, 2 more stages and then a boss. So on the boss, we will have to change our equipment. I'll try with this equipment, but I believe we will need to change it. So here we have Mithracy, and once again, our damage dealers are focusing that. So Mithracy did cast her ultimate, which is obviously annoying, but as long as we don't kill anyone before her ultimate runs out, we're just fine. Look at this. That's the best part, right? And if you want to deal with Mithracy, you can bring Vinyara and just cast Vinyara's ultimate manually on Mithracy constantly to not allow her to cast that ultimate. Okay, let's see the last level before the boss, 299. Yeah, that's going to be easy. There is just, Dauntless team, so single target against our replicas with lots of defensive stats coming from Thorin, a lot of debuffs that will slow down the team, and of course the stun set that will not allow us, will not allow the enemy to do anything. Alright, so here comes the boss. What we need to do here is, I'm just gonna skip this video quickly, you'll notice that our damage dealers will die, right? The boss is doing a lot of damage, etc. So Durham will die. I'll try to win, but there's no chance now, okay? Karf is dead as well. So what I've done after defeat, I changed the equipment. So I had stun set previously on Karf, and I changed it to Emissary, and I also put the extra damage increase on replicas, and I put food. Most of the stages I just don't put food until I die. And how did that help us? Well, quite significantly, because while we will still be in the same situation of DPS being close to dying or dying, we will take down the boss with us. We'll do way more damage now, which means since we were like 1 rotation away from the boss, now we have a chance to pass through that. As you can see, while being very close, I think the boss is not gonna hit us again. No, yeah, it is. So Durham dies, but the boss dies as well. So that's how we cleared this level. And I believe at the end of the video, I'm gonna go over the equipment. So let's quickly have a look here. Yep, so Replicas was using this set, and these are his stats. Thorin was using all of that, as you can see with Gatekeeper stuff. Our DPS were in that corner. Velocia can be close. Remember, using Aurelium Vest and Puppeteer set to ensure she has extra cooldowns. You can wear the extra damage sets as well, just showing you a different way. And here we have Karf with the stun set and Durham with the 4 mythics and the burn artifact. And that's pretty much how we've done it. Obviously, placement is important. I just showed you the placement to group them all together. in the middle, and this way you group them all together on the bottom while your DPS stays safe. When it comes to the timings, the rotation is only on the DPS and no one else. Obviously, with Puppeteer set, you can reduce this to 18 seconds, which will be even better and help you clear this way faster. So once again, if you need help with Fayander or any other content, please reach out to me. We can make some deal and I can help you. Those of you who have been following me, once again, thank you all for your support. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Press the like button as well to let people see how to deal with Fayander, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye.